break through today quite easily.
Would have been happier with Oregon Seal if there had have been perhaps a little bit of rain, but her run at Moonee Valley was just so good, Jen. I think she'll be hard to beat.
Yep, it was a terrific run, Pete, for sure, and you're quite right, though. Loves the wet.
Yeah. And Bobby Skelton, of course, is the trainer of Oregon Seal, and he's riding in the Legends race a little bit later on. The winner from last year.
Yes, he's got a bit of form in the race, hasn't he?
He has. Yeah, last start winner.
Yes.
It was only 12 months ago.
We're calling him Bobby Big Bucks after that last year.
Is that right?
To Dubai, yeah. Had a side wager too he did with the boys in the jocks room, Pete.
Presentation's coming up in just a moment. I'll just ask you, because you rode in the Legends race as well as Letzi last year. Now, you're a pretty fit fella. How did you pull up after the race?
Oh, I felt like I did dry reach when I got back to the jockeys room, I'll tell you that, because I had to punch mine out for 800 metres, and let's see, you can prepare for it, but there's nothing like race day conditions and going flat out for 800, is it?
Nothing like the real thing, Simon. I was talking actually to Colin Alderson and Bobby Skelton yesterday. It was funny because they were talking about last year. Colin threw him on and said, just sit there, it'll win. And Bobby said to him yesterday, he said, you never give me a ride when I have my licence. He said, look at the money we could have made. He said, you only got the ride on that because you drew it. And he said, but what about the sling? Yeah. 2 trips to Dubai.
Yeah, fantastic prizes. Jen, Linda Jones riding in the race today. Yes. It is wonderful to have her. We're going to be talking to her a little bit later on. Tim Webster's going to be catching up with Linda. She was the one who blazed the trail for lady jockeys.
Oh, for sure, Pete. Reason being, she was riding a very good horse in New Zealand, and then she was coming out to ride for Alan Jones. And when she got here, obviously she couldn't ride because there was no lady jockeys licences available, and she was the one who got the rules changed.
It seems impossible that it's only, what, just a couple of decades ago that was the case.
Well, it does, and she's a lovely girl, Linda, and I'm looking forward to seeing her ride again as well. I just hope they all don't pull up too sore, these jockeys, because it would be difficult.
Yeah, I think they'll probably be feeling it, but they might have a glass of champagne a little bit later on to dull the pain a bit.
Well, they might. And also interesting, we were just talking before on the break, Pete, you know, the different riding styles now. A lot of the Victorian jockeys and indeed around Australia have changed their riding style, a bit more like American than the English. And we just saw Wayne Treloar, more the old school, win a race there.
And you'll notice that in this Legends race, you'll see Bobby Skelton riding, and he always rides that little bit longer, and you'll see Lester Piggott with his knees up near his chin, so we'll be changing styles, Pete.
OK, time now for the presentation after the Clemenger BBDO Maribyrnong Plate, and it's time to join the Managing Director of Clemenger BBDO, Mr Mark Pearce.
Thank you, Chairman, Committee of the VRC, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a great week in our little tent over in the birdcage, but there's no doubt this is the highlight for us, the Clemenger BBDO Maribyrnong Stakes. And without further ado, I'd like to congratulate the representative of the winning syndicate, Mr Michael Duffy.
Michael Duffy accepting the trophy on behalf of his co-owners, which include Kevin Sheedy, of course. Well done to Sheeds. 12:35 the starting time for the next, the Troa Matriarch Stakes over 2,000 metres, and it's about time that we went down to the mounting yard for the last time this carnival, Jen.
Yes, why don't we? And let's hope the weather is very kind to us today.
Simon, we'll see you in the mounting yard before the big one, the Emirates Stakes.
Yeah, Pete, be quite happy to pop up and have a chat prior to that.
And let's see, go and find Banjo.
We'll find him, Pete. He's ready to go.
He'll be looking for you. And we hope you enjoy your day, everyone. Time now to go from the surrounds of the studio to the surrounds of the marquee. And you can hear the noise in the background. Plenty of children, plenty of parents. And I'm sure they're all going to have a wonderful day, as too will this lady. Sandra Sully, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Peter. As you can see, yes, I am surrounded by a whole lot of new friends. Are we having a good day today, everyone? Yeah. And you're going to be backing any winners? Yeah. Yes.
I've got a whole list of them.
You've got a whole list of winners? Wow, we better get you down to the mounting yard and talking to Peter and Jenny before the next race.
I'm going to try and grab all my money from my dad's wallet.
Oh, he's going to try and grab all his money from his dad's wallet. So, Dad, if you're listening, you better be careful. Someone has designs on your moolah. Now, we'll be crossing back to Peter and Jenny with all the news on race 3 a little bit later. But first, we're joined now by the newest member of our team, Gemma Gaunt, who's out on the lawns with some very interesting guests.
Well, it's election day today, and out here at the races for the kids, it's no exception. We've got the Electoons out here today, and the kids are going to be voting for their favourite cartoon characters. We've got Scooby-Doo, Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls, and Johnny Bravo over there. What do you think, kids? Who's your favourite? Scooby-Doo! Yeah, I think he's pretty good too, Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby. Johnny Bravo? Yeah! Yay! What about Bubbles? Yeah! Oh, Bubbles, who loves Bubbles? Yeah? Yeah, Bubbles. Well, kids, we're going to ask you all some questions today, and I've got some little characters to give out to you all. So do you all know about the Cartoon Network and about the Powerpuff Girls?
Yes.
Okay. So who's the Powerpuff Girls' arch-villain rival? Yes. Who said that? Mojo.
Me.
There you go, darling. There you are. Yay! Very good. Give her a round of applause. Excellent. Okay. What's Scooby's favourite snack?
Scooby-Doo snacks.
Someone with their hand up.
Scooby-Doo snack.
Very good. Good girl. There you go. Alrighty. And what does Johnny Bravo want most?
Girls.
Yay, girls. He's a bit of a womanizer, old Johnny Bravo. Thanks, kids. Now, who's your favourite, darling?
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo? Why is he your favourite?
Because he's cute.
He is cute, isn't he? And Scrappy's gorgeous too, isn't he? Little Scrappy-Doo. And who's your favourite, honey?
Scooby.
Scooby's yours as well. Is anyone, does anyone have Bubbles as a favourite? You do?
Yeah.
Why?
She's got superpowers. Cool.
She has got superpowers, hasn't she? And she's fun and she's bubbly and she's cute. What about old Johnny Bravo over there?
Yeah, Johnny.
You like who you do? Yeah. Right, why's that? Over here.
Because I think he's hot. And he's young
A bit of a spark. He does. He's got good hair, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of hairspray. Can and a half of hairspray in that hair, I think, over there. All right, well, thanks, guys. Thank you all. Enjoy the day today. I'll see you later at Fashions on the Field.
And we'll be seeing you a little bit later, Gemma. We'll be catching up with all the guests you can find out and about here at fabulous Flemington. Well, you're watching the final day of this Melbourne Cup Carnival. This is Emirates Stakes Day. Stay with us. We'll be back with plenty more right here on Network 10.
Tonight.
Welcome back to famous Flemington and to Emirates Stakes Day. This is family day at the races, and as you saw then, some exquisite roses in one of the most beautiful rose gardens in the world, if not the largest in the Southern Hemisphere, something like 10,000 rose bushes. So it's absolutely exquisite and all perfectly timed to bloom just this week. Now, one man who's always blooming or perhaps blushing, depending on his comedic routine, our man on the ground, Mark Aston, always out and about. Let's find out who he's caught up with.
Well, one of the feature races today is the Legends race, and I reckon this guy's got an undeniable chance. Former international jockey Brent Thompson. Are you a little bit nervous, Brent?
They haven't come in yet anyway, Mark. No, I'm not. You know, it's quite a credit to be invited to ride against some of the great jockeys of the world, and lucky enough I rode with some of them in my career as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Lester Piggott, for example. I mean, you had a bit of a stoush with him yesterday at the luncheon. I mean, what's the camaraderie, or indeed, what's the competition like between all of you guys?
Well, I think, you know, whilst it's taken serious enough, I mean, at the end of the day, there's no betting, and you know, everyone's pretty familiar with each other, so I think it's basically a case of going out there and enjoying it, and you know, whoever wins, well done.
You missing riding?
No, I've been retired. I actually retired in June 2000, but no, I don't miss it. I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing.
Dulcify, the best horse you've ridden?
Yes, he was. I was fortunate in my career to ride a lot of good horses, but he probably stands out, or stands alone. And I rode some lovely horses in Europe as well, but here in this country was certainly outstanding.
Now, you're representing the owners of Ethereal, and there was a story floating around that maybe she could come back for the autumn for the Australia Cup. Can you give us an update on that?
Well, nothing's set in stone. She's on her way back on Sunday to New Zealand, and she'll have a nice rest. I think they'll see how she lets down from all that, but she's still a very lightly raced mare, and you know, Peter and I had a brief discussion on the morning after the Melbourne Cup. He's now in Singapore. New Zealand Bloodstock actually sponsor the whole day in Singapore today, so it's a big day for them. But you know, we talked about that. I mean, there's races like the Australian Cup, the Mercedes in Sydney, so they're huge, big prize money, and, well, you know, there's no reason why she won't improve further. So, you know, it'd just be a case of a few weeks and they'll digress things and go from there.
Good luck in the Legends race today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Now to a woman who is without doubt the best known lady in Australian racing. Of course, I'm talking about the irrepressible Gai Waterhouse. She's always bright, always bubbly, but gosh, she's hard to catch and track down on a race course. You know, she spent some time with us recently to talk about her two greatest loves, her horses and her family.
Say to people, you rehearse for weeks or months off stage, and that's exactly what track work's all about. That's the rehearsal time, and then the opening night, of course, is race day, e.g. today at the races. That's opening night, and you go there and the horses have to perform, and they're under the spotlight and they're under the cameras and all the people are looking at them. Well, it's just like theatre. When I told him I wanted to go to NIDA, or I'd been accepted to NIDA in Sydney, he said, "What do you want to go and do that? It's full of puffs." He said, "Why don't you go and do something more sensible?" When I came back, of course, they said I was a pom, and I said, no, I'm one of us, I'm one of us. And I couldn't get a job in Australia because of that. He really loves it, and he loves that Tom, our son, is working with him as the bagman, and he's really sharpened Tom up unbelievably because, you know, you can't beat being out in the real world. Tom's outlook is driving me insane sometimes.
Why?
Oh, well, typical 19-year-old and a mother. I'm sure some of your viewers have got 19-year-old sons. No, he's really good, but he can sometimes be a bit testing. He's delighted. You know, I said to him, you know, do you really get fulfilment from it? And he said, yes, I do. He said, I just really enjoy it. Very different than what it was 17 years ago. I thought he was a bit of a sort of a bit leery when I first met him. He had the sharp sort of car and the bright suits that I suppose you imagine bookmakers to wear.
So did he win you, or did you chase him?
Well, he told his mother when he went home, he said, I'll marry that girl. So I don't know how you could have picked it at first sight. And he asked me about 2.5 weeks later. But it took 2.5 years for me to decide. So, you know, I'm glad. I probably should have decided a lot sooner, because then we would have got on with life.
What a remarkable lady, the Queen of the Turf there, Gai Waterhouse, and I'm just sitting with a couple of my remarkable new friends. They're surrounding me this week. It's Emirates Stakes Day. We're going to have a fun day today, aren't we? It's family day. But we'd better check down with Peter and Jenny in the mounting yard. Peter has one of the legends of Australian racing. Peter, who have you managed to catch up with?
Yes, he is a legend, Sandra Sally, and I'm delighted to say that he's riding here in the Emirates Legends race today, a legend of Hong Kong racing. Tony Cruz, welcome to Flemington.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here. I'd like to thank the Emirates and also the BRC to sponsoring this race and to hosting this race here.
As I said, you are a legend in Hong Kong, but what sort of a thrill is it for you to ride against the likes of Linda Jones, who's standing just near us, and Lester Piggott especially?
Well, I'll be. My intention is that to go out and have a good race and to enjoy myself. Whether I win or lose, but I'm going to give it my best. You know, and I'm very happy to be here amongst Linda. And all the best jockeys in the world.
Tony, I was lucky enough to see your very last ride in Hong Kong. You won on the favourite, Super Team, but I have never seen a crowd like it. The reaction when you went down the straight to parade, did you expect that?
Well, yes, actually. It took me the 1st of January 1996 on the last race card. The fans were still there, and I had a great reception, you know, and I had to... Anyway, I had to race around the turn, and I thought, how am I going to salute to the crowd, you know? So I thought I'd stop up in the saddle and throw a kiss to them all.
Yeah, it was just fantastic. It was a great moment in racing.
Now, have you been riding a fair bit of work, Tony?
Yes, for about a month now. It's been 5 years I haven't sat on a horse, but I'm all ready for this race.
Yesterday, there was a big function here at Flemington. John Letts was the MC. Did he stop talking at any stage of the afternoon?
No, he was very good. He was a good host for it all. He seemed to know everything about the jockeys, really. I think he played a part as a jockey. And from what I know, that I don't know him personally, but I think he's a very experienced man.
He is a very experienced man, and he's a very good talker too. So just don't get talking to him, otherwise you won't be out there for the race later on.
But Pete, I think everyone's going to look forward to watching Tony ride here. He's got the most beautiful hands on a horse you've ever seen.
Oh, well, we saw that last year, Jen, with the Legends, and we're really looking forward to seeing everyone. Tony, it's a pleasure to have you here at Flemington. We wish you safe passage, and hopefully you might be on the winner.
Thank you very much.
Tony Cruz joining us down here in the mounting yard. We saw a shot of Linda Jones before. She'll be catching up with Tim Webster a little bit later on in the day. Let's head back to the marquee now. Here's Sandra Sully.
Yes, Peter, we are looking forward to the Legends race, but right now, race 3 is coming up next. We need to go to a break, and as we do, let's take a moment to remember one of racing's true gentlemen, Peter Hayes.
The legendary trainer and breeder, the late Colin Hayes, had a favourite saying: "The future belongs to those who plan for it." But how can you plan against tragedy and fate? While the Hayes empire continues at magnificent Lindsay Park, the death of his eldest son, Peter, in a plane crash in March, means that this will be the first Cup week in nearly 50 years without the Hayes family name in the racebook as a trainer. Peter Hayes was the gentleman trainer who defied the expectation of the industry to regain the Victorian training premiership for his family after brother David moved to Hong Kong with the cream of the stable. For Peter, flying was a passion. Ironically, he was planning his own future and was testing a light plane he wanted to buy for his retirement at the end of this carnival when it plummeted to earth near Mildura. As one, the racing world mourned a champion trainer and a champion bloke.
Kids are having an absolute ball, and they wouldn't be anywhere else here at famous Flemington preparing for the Shetland pony race. I think it is my favourite part of the whole week. It is so much fun. The kids look so cute. I don't know how they stay on, but they're very determined. They seem extremely competitive, and I guess all the jockeys are, and they're nothing more than budding jockeys. Peter and Jenny are in the mounting yard, and we need the details on race 3, Peter and Jen.
Yes, Sandra, we've gone from the babies in the second and that very impressive baby, Jen, in Bel Esprit, to the mares here in the Troa Matriarch Stakes. Pretty open race, I think.
Yes, it's a very competitive race, Pete, but we'll try and weave out the winner for you.
I know you like Tickle Mine, number 1. This horse will get back and run on, but, gee, she's got a big heart, this horse. Darren Beedman, the rider for Bruce Purcell.
Yes, I thought it was a terrific run on Saturday. On Saturday she got back and she weaved her way through. A very good performance. She's as honest as they come, and I think even with the 58, she's a good chance.
I just went over and said good day to the First Lady of Racing, Gay Waterhouse, and she said she's hoping for a better day today, and maybe it might start here with Altiro, number 2. Jimmy Cassidy is the rider.
Quite possibly, Pete. Altiro has been racing very well. She was ridden back last start, and that certainly suited her a lot better when she won the Werribee Cup. It was a good ride there. If ridden back here again today, there's no reason why she can't produce another very good run.
Number 3 out of the David Hall yard is Calm Smitzer, and Damien Oliver takes the set.
Yes, she's running well. I thought she probably had every chance at Flemington when she ran 3rd behind Market Price. The blinkers come off her. Maybe a place chance again.
4 Miss Zoe, Mark de Montfort, the rider. He's on Final Fantasy later on in the big one, the Emirates Stakes. Les Bridge is the trainer.
Terrific win by Miss Zoe 2 starts ago at Randwick. She did strike some interference in the race, and she still managed to get up and win. And then her last start, probably forget it. She was a bit wide, and there's a few excuses for her. I don't think the distance is a problem. She's a chance.
Carries the colours that Kensai carried to victory in the Melbourne Cup in 1987. Down to number 7, Oregon Seal, the one I like in the race. Ridden by Craig Williams, trained by the great R.J. Skelton.
She got back to last, Pete, and she weaved her way through and ran on very strongly at Moonee Valley last start. Behind La Belladama, that form's pretty good. Always a chance. She'll get back. She'll need luck. She'll run on. She's a trifecta chance.
Number 9, Tyroline, has attracted a few supporters today. Stephen Arnold, the rider for Bart Cummings. They combined to win the Oaks on Thursday.
Well, they've elected to put the blinkers on her for the first time, Peter, and it's probably a good idea. She tends to get, out of her ground, back in the field and runs on, and everyone's seen her. She's not hard to spot, and you always think, oh, she's going to win a good race, she's going to win a race. Well, she may just do that today.
And to number 13, and that is Sylvana, and the rider here is Brett Preble for Barry James at Ballarat.
I thought every chance for Sylvana at Bendigo last start, Pete. A terrific run at Caulfield when she was wide most of the way the start before that. Of course, it does like a little bit of give in the ground, but a chance anyway.
And for the supporters of number 15, they'll be hoping that she doesn't live up to her name. Her name is Gone, and she's ridden by Larry Cassidy for Clary Connors.
Well, she's into mare's class again here, Peter, so that might suit Gone a little bit better. Nicely in with 52.5 kilos. That'll help. Probably every chance at Caulfield last start, though, so at best, probably a place chance for me.
Jennifer Chapman, your trifecta, please.
OK, I'm going for the top weight. Number 1, Tickle My, from number 9, Tyroline, and number 2, El Tiro.
OK, there's some of the crowd, and there are the tote figures for the third. Dan Malicki, what's been happening?
Calm Smites are steady all the way through, but they usually are with D. Oliver aboard. $5.70 for Tickle My, 12 for El Tiro, last up Werribee Cup winner, so that's good odds. Oregon Seal at 7.30, a flashing home run last start, and the form line behind it looks very good now with La Bella Dama winning it. Tyroline at 8.70, 13 for Sylvana, number 13. Gone at $15. It's not easy at $85 is your outsider, but there is one over the page, Deaconess. It's at $144. Let's go to Tim in the ring.
Good on you, Dan. Thank you very much. Bit of specking for Tickle My, but you're getting unders on the tote. It's much longer here in the bookmakers ring. There's been good money for Calm Smites. It will certainly jump the favourite. And Oregon Seal, $7.60 on the tote. You can get 4 or 5 points better in the bookmakers ring. And at one of odds, Miss Zoe. But Calm Smites are for D. Oliver, the best backed.
Tim Gossage with the report from the betting ring. They start here at the 2,000 metres over by the Maribyrnong River. Good long run down to the first turn. There's a couple of scratchings here, so we've got a field of 16, and it's still possible for horses to be posted once they get to that 1,400 turn. On the Moonee Valley run, each way, Oregon Seal for me, Tickle My for Jen, Tyroline for Letzi, Calm Smites, Dana, Gary Agree, and El Tiro for Simon Marshall here in the third. Let's have a look at what this man thinks. Here he is, the champion jockey, Roy Higgins. Roy, good to see you.
Good to see you again, mate. I'm going to add another one to that. I'm going with the 13, Sylvana. She's an on-pace runner. Brett Preble on board here. She'll sit up in the speed. I think she'll give you a good side, a bit of value here. Certainly the 3, Calm Smites, looks excellent. D. Oliver, inside Barry, you got a bit going for you there. Little Oregon Seal, she's a little knob. This high, little pony she is, very big heart. She gets a break, she'll prove hard to... Probably prefer a little bit more jar out of the track, but she's still got a big heart. Certainly the top weight, Tickle My. This mare looked excellent in the yard. Had she not drawn the outside, I would have marked her a lot higher. She looked outstanding. 13, 3, 7 and 1. Pete?
Good on you, Roy. Roy Higgins, who'll be joining us right throughout the day, courtesy of Sport 927. Gates are being filled here quickly. Gary Willits, how did you mark them?
Well, gee, I can't go past the 3, Calm Smites. I thought it looked beautiful. Drawn nicely in 2, and Damien Oliver on. You've got a lot in your favour. But the one I did like my eye was the 2, El Tiro. It's very good value. It's around the $11 mark, and it did win the Werribee Cup last start. Jimmy rode it a bit quiet there. He let it get back, and like he's drawing the outside here, so I think he'll just drop her back here also. And she'll most probably run home pretty well. And the other one is Tickle My. It's drawn out in 18, but it does get back also. So a few of the runners on here, I think, might go all right, Dan.
It's a good race for the mares, with Calm Smites running the favourite. She's been consistent in this prep. She can get the distance all right, placed twice at it in her 2 tries. Now, Andrella has the hood on. So what is the hood used for, Gary?
That's generally when they won't go in, they dig their toes in like this one is going to do, and they put the hood over it to blindfold it, and they try and just coax it up, but it's a little bit too smart, I think. It's, you know, like playing blindsman buff, but it is gradually going up now. The main thing is they've got to be careful. If they touch the sores, the horse will generally duck back. A good friend of ours, Dan's not too well at the moment, Peter Day. He raced Golopini and ran Cheetah. He's in hospital. I know he'll be watching the 10 broadcast, so we tell him a cheerio. Hope he's feeling better.
And if not, gets better as soon as possible. Now, it looks to be ready. Andrella, that's Ethereal stablemate. It's in and they're ready. Race 3, the Trower Matriarch Stakes, Group 3, 2,000 metres. And they're all in the starting stalls. 10 in or 2 climbing into the back of one of the runners there. And the gate with it. Racing. Fairly good line. El Tiro just dug up a little bit after the start to keep in touch with him. Deaconess and Tyroline are going to drift back. Jumping well, Piper Star with Andrella and also Gone. And Sylvana's racing forward and Miss Zoe wider out. And Regal Touch is handy as well. Calm Smites is about 7th over on the inside. Altero gets to about midfield, but it's wide at the moment. Around Dame Kath and then Yuma Line. In between runners, It's Not Easy from Tickle My, Be My Princess and Deaconess. Oregon Seal is drifting back. It'll settle second last, and Tyroline is behind it. And about 12 off the lead as they head to the 1400 metres bend. And Andrella's in front, leading from Sylvana. 2 lengths to Piper Star. And Regal Touch outside of it. 1.5 lengths away than a Miss Zoe. But it's trapped 3 deep on the outside of Gone and Calm Smite to the rails. A length away than a Altero. Then came Dame Kath nearer the fence, and outside of it was It's Not Easy. About a length and a half to Yuma Line, and then came Deaconess, who's over on the rails from Oregon Seal, Be My Princess and Tyroline, and Tickle By's about midfield as they head past the 1,000 metres now, and the leader is Andrella, about a half a length in front. Second is Sylvana, 2 lengths away Regal Touch on the outside of Piper Star. Miss Zoe has been trapped 3 wide throughout. It's on the outside of Gone. Calm Smites has had a cheaper run, then Tickle My outside Altero. About 2 lengths away Dame Kath as they near the home turn. Then It's Not Easy from Yuma Line, and then Oregon Seal, Deaconess, Be My Princess is back at the tail with Tyroline, but about 10 lengths off the lead. Rounding the bend, 600 to go. Andrella just led Sylvana. Regal Touch is going up 3 deep. Miss Zoe's never been on the track. Gone there. So's Calm Smites are looking for a run, and they were followed by Piper Star, Dame Kath and Altero. Regal Touch under hard riding goes up to narrowly hit the lead, but the challengers are coming. Tickle My's into the clear, and so too is Yuma Line with a big run. Calm Smites can't get a crack at them at the moment. Regal Touch grabbed by Tickle My. Yuma Line on the outside, and then Sylvana. Calm Smites are trying to get through. Piper Star got the run. Piper Star up along the inside, hit the lead. Coming after it, Tickle Mine on the outside, Yuma Line. Piper Star gets the run though and gets the money. Piper Star has won it from either Yuma Line or Tickle Mine. Close up Sylvana. Calm Smites was unlucky, never really got a crack at them. Altero close up. Miss Zoe did it tough, but it battled on pretty well. And then Oregon Seal. Next home was Deaconess. Late making ground were both Tyroline and It's Not Easy. Further back, Regal Touch with Beacon, which Be My Princess Gone, and Andrella knocked up, so did Dame Kath.
Well, this has been a beautiful ride by Reece McLeod. Geez, a good rider, Dan. I hope Peter's got the head on this one, because you can see him. He just waited and waited, and I thought, geez, not going to get a run, this boy. But he just bided his time beautifully, Peter.
Yeah, the head-on's going to show 2 things here, Gary. It's going to show that that was a terrific ride by Reece McLeod, and it's going to show that if you back Calm Smitzer, you just had absolutely no luck at all in the straight.
No, none at all. No, I actually thought Reece wasn't going to get a run either. Well, here they are. Now, to pick them up, the one Calm Smites is in the pink hat behind the 2 leaders.
Yeah, just can't arrow those at the moment,
right.
Gary, but...
OK, we'll roll it forward. Well, directly, the one in the cerise in the blue hat, that's Reece McLeod right behind him. He's got nowhere to go. He can't go inside of it. Now he's sort of hoping that horse has just shifted enough. He's going to get this run. And Damien Oliver right behind in the pink hat, he's got no room at all. He just doesn't get a run at all. So,
over their heels, trying to go to the inside.
Yeah, and he's trying to get a little bit of a run here, but not a lot. Then that other horse comes out a little bit. So he's run out of room again, Damien. So if you're back Calm Smites, you're very unlucky. But a lovely ride by Reece McLeod.
5, 6 and 1 are the official placings. 13 Sylvana running 4th, and the unlucky Calm Smites are 5th.
Here they are again. You can get a better idea. See, he's just had to take hold. It's one off the fence outside the horse that's on the rail, and he just gets that narrow split. Trained by Roger James. Set up a stable here at Flemington. But a lovely ride.
And it was up along the rails too, so it goes to show that the horses are figured prominently there were from the fence to about 5 out, and there was very little between them. So the track is in remarkable shape. What a fantastic week. The curator's done a super job, I think. I know there was a little bit of a bias on Saturday, but the track's played so fairly since, and it's been in remarkable condition. The drainage of it is just first class, Pete.
Yes, it is, Dan, and Terry Watson should be able to take a bow for what he's done so far this carnival. Roger James isn't here, but Leanne standing